I would now request Shri V Srinivasan, former All India President, Sri Sathya Sai Organization, to kindly address us.
Om Shri Sairam. With humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan Baba, I add my own words of welcome to all our guests today and thank you for responding to our invitation. I know that on a holiday, to spare some time is really not so easy, especially when we have so many other commitments. But I'm sure that at the end of this program, you would have found that this time is well spent. My worthy colleague, Sri Nimish Pandya, All India President of the Sathya Sai Seva Organization in India, our own Balvika student and now Chairman of Tanjatco, Sri Sai Kumar, Professor Tyagarajan, Venu Srinivasan, Dr. Srinivasan, and other worthy dignitaries. It is really very heartening to see all of you here today. Our Sai organization members have given you an overview of all that Bhagavan has inspired us to do. And this is, so far you have heard about the state of Tamil Nadu. And we have during these few days the visit of the All India President to our state, and he will share with you some of our national initiatives, what the organization, the state trusts are all doing. Of course, I do not want to repeat what we had told you earlier, because these sessions we try to have around once a year to function as a sort of report card for what we have been doing for the last 1 year. So we have had the pleasure of the presence of some of you at such gatherings. So I don't want to repeat the things like which Baba through the Central Trust have done, like the super specialty hospitals, and of particular interest to Tamil Nadu, particularly at this time, is the Sai Ganga project, which brings the Krishna water to Chennai. Almost every day we read in the papers of how much water has come through the canal, which was refurbished totally by the Central Trust. So I will just make one important comment, that Bhagavan's Central Trust is not only engaged in the fields of health, education and service, but it also participates in large infrastructure projects. This project for the refurbishment of the canal from Kandaleru to Pundi cost the trust over 250 crores of rupees, and it was done in record time using the latest technologies. And we are doing some things like this in the Godavari basin also. The rural water supply in Anantapur, which today benefits over 1,200 villages with pure drinking water. These are all the vision of Bhagavan, who laid a lot of emphasis in the field of education, health, and pure water. What I would like to talk to you briefly today is what differentiates the Sai organization from other organizations. We have seen in Chennai, in the floods in December 2015, how the citizens spontaneously responded to help their fellow brothers and sisters. We have seen today also all over India how our youth and young people are engaged in serving the disadvantaged sections of society in slums, in urban areas, not so much in the villages, but we see them do a lot of work. They work in hospitals, they work with the kind of medical camps which respective state governments run. But there is one fundamental difference of service done by the Sai volunteers as against a service which is done by other people. Bhagwan Baba has enunciated that when you are saying that you do service to somebody else, you really are serving yourself. Bhagwan has stressed always that we should recognize the common divinity which pervades all creation. It is not as if the divinity is different in the poor or the rich or the healthy or the sick. It is not as if the divinity is different from a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian or a Jew or a Parsi. Bhagavan has said that recognize this divinity. Recognize that you are serving the Lord, which is present within yourself. In fact, He has directed us to be grateful to the people to whom we have the opportunity of doing service. We have to thank them, express our gratitude to them that they have given us an opportunity to do our sadhana. So this creates a different kind of self-satisfaction, a different kind of motivation, a different kind of inspiration, which energizes all the Sai volunteers in the field of service. And also, if you see when they are doing the service, they will be singing the glory of God. They will be singing of Rama, Krishna, Allah, Yesu, Jesus, that would be seen as the underlying foundation of that very act of service. So, that service is rendered spiritual, and that gives the strength. Today you see how tense and how distraught many of the young people are. They go for service, but they are in a disturbed kind of mind, state of mind. And this act of service which they do, it gives them a certain self-satisfaction at that time, but it disappears. It is not something which remains with them continuously. So this is what the Sai organization provides, that it charges them and their spiritual batteries with the special vitamin which gives a new meaning to this act of service. So you see, when our children go for Seva, when our youth are going for Seva, there is a feeling of joy with which they go. And they realize that they are not the doers. The doer is Bhagwan Baba. It is not that they say, I have done this railway station cleaning. No. Bhagwan Baba has done it. I was also fortunate to join our brothers and sisters in the recent work we did at this Greenways Road station. And I know that there has been some work done there by other organizations also for cleaning. But the kind of approach which our youth took is totally different. They do not leave any part untouched. They are engaged till the last speck of dirt has been removed, and they are constantly singing bhajans and invoking the glory of God during that act of service. So this is the fundamental difference. In fact, Baba has made it clear that every act of service that you do must be imbued with love, selfless love. Any act of service that you do which is not impregnated with a feeling of love is not really service. So we have this example we give when we talk to our younger volunteers, that if you're standing in the corner of a busy road and you see a young old lady wanting to cross the road, you hold her hand and take her across. But on the other hand, you're busy talking on the cell phone, then that act of yours, which you may think gives you brownie points, really is not an act of service. Because your whole being, your body and soul was not associated with that action. You were not fully involved in that. It was just a mechanical action. So that is the difference. That, as they say in Hindi, apne tan, man aur dhan ko lagana hai. We have to put everything which we have with us into that particular act which we do as service. So this is an important teaching which Bhagwan has given to us, that when we undertake these various programs are not important. The act of service which you do to somebody else is not important. What is important is what that act does to you. How does it change you as an individual? Does it make a more holistic human being? Does it give a new meaning to your life? Do you feel that pervading sense of divinity present within you throughout that whole day and constantly? Because really, in today's world, you can see so much suffering. And the responses which we try to make, we try to throw money at a project, we try to depute volunteers who may be willing, who may not be willing, to go and render flood relief. It is really not the right way, because every individual in this world must have a feeling of self-satisfaction in order to live and achieve the purpose of one's life. And that, dear brothers and sisters, is the essence of what Bhagwan Baba has taught to us. And we are trying to make this the platform. Just like you have a Windows 10 platform, you have an iOS. Our platform is the platform of divinity, of love, from which every single action springs. So when we give food also, we salute the people to whom we give the food and make sure, are you happy? How are you? Give with feeling of love. Not just say, oh, all of you sit down, we are going to give you food. Sometimes we see some places Annadanam going on, nobody cares. Some officer has decided to do Annadanam and it is mechanically conducted with no personal involvement. The government is also an entity. The government must get the real satisfaction. And the government is also a divine creation. Let us not think that it is run by the election commission. The government also has to get a feeling of satisfaction that it has really served the citizens. Similarly, now that our Venu is here, I am taking the opportunity to highlight some of the work that we are doing together with the TVS. As you know, he is very active in the field of renovation of temples and village services. And there